Hello friends, today we are going to see how to enable inter-VLAN communication. So in this scenario, we are going to use a router. It is called as a router and a stick concept. Okay, so before jumping into the lab, so let me explain the scenario. Here we are taking two PCs, PC1 and PC2, and one switch, one router. So here basically PC1 is connected to fast Ethernet 0/2 on switch 1, and we are going to assign this to VLAN 2, and PC2 is connected to fast Ethernet 0/3, so we are going to assign it to VLAN 3, and the fast Ethernet 0/1 is connected to router 1, and router 1 gigabit 0/0/0, and fast Ethernet 0/1 we are going to configure it as a trunk port because it should pass these two VLANs packets to this router. So we'll configure step by step and we'll see how it can happen. Okay, so first verify the PC1 configuration IP details. So it is configured as per the diagram 192.168.1.1, and this is a subnet mask. So let me verify PC2 IP configuration 172.17.1.1 255.255.255.0. So if you observe, we did not configure any default gateway as of now. So this is done. Let's jump into switch configuration and let me configure VLANs and assign them to VLANs. Okay, so before configuring it, let's verify any VLANs are configured before. So there are only default VLANs are available and all the ports are in default VLAN only, VLAN 1 only. Okay, so let me configure fast Ethernet 0/2 assign to VLAN 2, and the fast Ethernet 0/3 will need to assign to VLAN 3. So let me configure two VLANs first. Config terminal VLAN 2, and just let me give the name as production. Exit VLAN 3. So here the digit is nothing but VLAN ID. Okay, and name is dev. Okay, so let's check the VLANs configuration. So two VLANs got created, VLAN 2 and VLAN 3, but no ports are assigned to these VLANs now. So let's assign these two ports to two separate VLANs. Okay, config T interface, fast Ethernet 0/2 switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN, and we have to give the VLAN ID here. Okay, so here switch port mode access is not mandatory command, but the best practice is to always we have to give this, because only access ports we can assign to the separate VLANs. Okay, so then only we can connect to PCs directly and it works. So in real time, so these ports might be configured as a trunk ports by previous administrator or something, so we better to configure as a access port always while assigning to interfaces. Okay, sorry, while assigning to VLANs. So let's configure that port. Interface fast Ethernet 0/3 switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN, and the VLAN ID is 3. Okay, let's verify the VLAN's configuration now. So port number 2 is assigned to VLAN 2 and port number 3 is assigned to VLAN 3, and let's configure the trunk port. Okay, so now if you observe, so fast Ethernet 0/1 is in setting in default VLAN, and no trunk ports are configured as of now. Okay, show interface trunk, so no ports are available. Okay, so let's configure fast Ethernet 0/1 as a trunk port because it should carry the multiple VLANs information. So config terminal interface fast ethernet 0/1, switch port mode. Here we have to mention trunk port, so we have a multiple modes, right? Here we are using trunk port. Sorry, let me give the command again. Trunk. Okay, switch port mode trunk. So let's verify the trunk port configuration. Show interface trunk. Okay, let me verify it is configured as a trunk or not. So we configured as a trunk port, so it would take some time to reflect. Show interface trunk. I think it is in shutdown mode, that is the reason here it is not appearing. Show interface status. It is configured and it is showing as a not connected, because the other side is it is showing down, so it is showing as not connected. Okay, let's verify one more time. Show interface trunk. It is not showing any information because it is showing as down. So let me do one thing. Let me configure the router and just will make the interface up. No shutdown command. It is up now. Let's jump to this configuration again and let me check this now. So interface status is connected. Show interface trunk. Now it is showing the information. So if other interface is down, I mean it is not connected to anything, it won't show this information. So now it is showing the information. So fast ethernet 0/1 is configured as the trunk port, and allowed VLANs are all by default, but active VLANs are 1, 2, 3. But we have assigned only 2 VLANs, I mean separately. These are 2 separate VLANs and this is a default VLAN. Nothing but here native VLAN is here. So native VLAN is nothing but it won't tag anything, like without tagging, if any traffic is passing, that it will consider as a native VLAN. So for native VLAN, trunk port will not assign any tag, but VLAN 2 and VLAN 3 it will assign a tag. Okay, so now everything is good. Let me verify show VLAN brief configuration. See here, port number 1, 2, 3 are missing from the default VLAN, because port number 1 we configured as a trunk port, and port number 2 and 3 we are assigned to different VLANs. Okay, so let's jump into router. Let's configure interface. Here, to make this happen, few things we have to remember. The first one, here we have configured it as a trunk link, right? So it carries multiple VLANs information, but here it is only one interface, and there is no, we cannot configure any VLANs on this router. So we have to configure sub interfaces separately for each and every VLAN. So here we have a 2 VLANs, right? We have to configure 2 sub interfaces, and we have to assign IP addresses also to that sub interfaces. Let me configure that. So gigabit. So let me come from starting and bus interface gigabit ethernet. So to create sub interfaces, just click like this .1. Here we can give any numbers actually. So this is the range. Up to here we can give any digits, but as a reference, actually generally we can give VLAN ID also here, or we can give any number also. Let me give 1. Okay, so this is the first sub interface created, and here is the main command encapsulation .1q for enable tagging. This is so .1q, give a question mark. So here is the range. This is nothing but VLAN IDs. So for this sub interface, I am going to attach VLAN ID as a 2. Okay, enter. That's it. And just create another sub interface for another VLAN. Here we can give any number, but while we are enabling this .1 queue, here we have to mention the VLAN ID. Perfect. Okay, done. So we have created sub interfaces. Okay, we have created sub interfaces, but to make this happen, actually from this PC to it will pass the traffic here, and it should pass the traffic here like this. The communication should happen like this. To happen this, we need to create one default gateway. So then only traffic will pass up to the router. Routing will happen here, and from here it will go to another VLAN like this. So to pass every traffic, I mean default gateway, we have to configure here. So where we have to configure the default gateway? In sub interfaces. So this sub interface is related to VLAN 2 because we have enabled tagging .1 queue encapsulation .1 queue, and we have mentioned particular VLAN ID. So also for this one we have to configure IP address from the VLAN 2. So let me show you that. Configure terminal interface gigabit ethernet 0/0/0 dot 1, right? It is attached to VLAN 2. Actually VLAN 2 tagging is enabled for this. So let me assign one IP from that range 192.168.1.99 and give the subnet mask as 255.255.255.0. Okay, so in similar way, let me configure another sub interface which we use for VLAN 3 communication. Okay, IP address 172.17.1.99 and the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. Okay, so let's verify the configuration now. So this is what we configured. Okay, so this is one sub interface gigabit ethernet 0/0/0.1, and the tagging is with VLAN 2. This is the VLAN ID, and the IP address is we configured from that range, VLAN 2's range. So in this subnet basically. So similar way, this is for VLAN 3, and this is one of the IP address from that subnet range. So this is done now. So let me verify show IP interface brief. I think is good. We have two sub interfaces with the IP addresses. Now we have to change these default gateways to that particular IP addresses whatever we configured on the routers. So in this range we configured 192.168.1.1 IP. So let me take that IP, we will configure here 99 as a gateway. This is the IP we configured on the router sub interface. Okay, just we configure this, and for PC2 172.17.1.99. okay, this is done. So and let me verify the routing here, show IP route. This is the thing. So L means locally connected. This is the IP address we configured on the interface 0/0/0.2, and this is 192.168.1.99, and it is configured on the sub interfaces of 1, and these networks are locally connected. So everything is good, routing is there. Let me try to ping from PC1 to PC2 now. Command prompt ping 172.17.1.1. Here it is taking some time. Let's see. Yeah, it's pinging now. Okay, perfect. So let me try to ping PC1 from PC2. Just up arrow already there. That's it. Communication is happening now. So let me shut down this port and see if the communication is happening or not. So let me put continuous communication for this. So this is continuous pinging from PC2 to PC1. Let me shut down this interface and see how it works. This is down now. See, request timed out. So communication is broken here. So let me enable that. It will take some time. See, router interface is up, but switch interface is still down because it run STP protocol. It will take some time. It will automatically up. Once it is up, the communication will happen. Let's see this. Still is taking some time. Yeah, started. It took some time. It's a simulator. So that's it, guys. So like this, we can enable the communication from one VLAN to another VLAN by using router and a stick concept. If you like this video, just subscribe my channel and encourage me to create more videos like this. Thank you.